So before I start, I just want to let you guys know why I'm talking a little bit funny. My top tooth in the back is pushing down on my bottom tooth, so it's a little swollen, but I'm okay. I'm not going to let it stop me from sharing my experiences, so here we go. Alright, okay. So, my very first experience happened when I was 6 or 7 years old. When I was around that age, well, when I was younger, I used to go to Sunday school with my grandma all the time. And my cousin used to stay with us pretty often. So, one night, my cousin and I are sitting down, or laying down in my bed, and we're talking about heaven, hell, angels, demons, and then she reveals to me that one of her close family members was doing black magic. I didn't know it was black magic because I was a little kid, but now that I'm older, I know. So she's telling me that if you don't worship the star, that they're going to come for you, and just all of these things. And in the middle of what she's telling me, the bed started shaking. We both started screaming and crying. We were so scared. I remember my mom running down the hall and opening the door and like, what's wrong? What happened? And yeah, we ended up telling her, and I wonder what she was thinking at that time. Ooh. I just want to first put out there that a lot of my experiences kind of have a negativity to them because they all happened with fear. And I just also want to let you guys know that, in case you don't know, human beings, anything that's living, vibrates on a high frequency. We're all energetic. We all have fields of energy around us, and naturally we vibrate on a high frequency. But when we're feeling emotions like fear, anger, sadness, all those negative emotions, it causes our vibration to vibrate on a low frequency. So that's why it's important to meditate, because when you're meditating, you're freeing your mind of thoughts, and you're able to go back to your natural high state of vibration, of your vibration frequency. So these entities are like shadow people, ghosts, all those negative entities, they vibrate on a low frequency. So when you're young and you don't know anything about what's going on and all these things are happening, you're gonna be pretty scared. So a lot of my experiences happened when I was younger because I didn't know how to not be afraid. And yeah, fear is a thing. It's a consciousness. And if you are aware of it, then stuff like that won't happen too often. So anyways, back to my experiences. So, when I was growing up, I lived on my grandpa's land, which was about a mile away from the Yaqui Pascua Reservation. And in that area, a lot of a lot of things like what I'm sharing happened. There's this mountain that everybody calls, I think it's called Devil's Mountain. And a lot of my friends who live around that area have had a lot of stories to tell also. So anyways, when I was in middle school, I played the cello, and I used to practice before dinner, before going to sleep. And I remember one time my mom called me to go do something. I don't know what it was, but I remember I put my cello down, and instead of making the regular noise that an instrument makes, a string instrument makes when you put it down, I put my cello down, and I clearly heard boom, 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 all 4 strings. And when I heard that, I just froze. I stood in that doorway and I was questioning, like, did I just really hear that? Ugh, I can't explain, like, how creepy that was. Other things happened in that room too. Like, I had this huge circle mirror, and I would get dressed in the morning, and I would always see these, like, black things, these black shadow people, whatever you want to call them, figures, just zoom by. In my closet, there was a lot of that activity also. I had this Tigger alarm clock, and it would go off by itself, and from far away, it would sound like a baby crying. My mom hated that thing. But there was one toy that my mom actually gave me that my whole family just knows that it was haunted or manipulated or something. So this toy that my mom gave me was a porcelain doll given to her by her employer, some older woman that she worked for. She used to clean houses because she was a stay-at-home mom. And my mom gave this to me, and it was just this beautiful doll. It had pretty ringlets, like a chestnut brown. It was porcelain. Its limbs were so cool. They had strings in all the limbs, and they would bend and they would move. It was dressed in this Victorian type of era clothing. It was gorgeous. I never named the doll, though. I don't think I did, at least. So this doll would always have creepy things happening around it. I would always see, like, black things zooming by it, and one time, my brother still swears to this, and my whole family believes him. I believe him. One time, my brother starts screaming, and we're like, what's wrong? And he's like, the doll just turned its head at me. And it was just so creepy. I don't think my dad believed him, because my dad, I don't think he's the man. You know, some men are, not all men, but yeah, he wasn't into all that. But yeah, that doll stayed with us for a while. So when we went to our next house, my mom was in the bathroom, and the doll was in there with her. So we're all doing our thing, and we hear a big clash of, like, glass falling on the floor or something. And we hear my mom scream, so we all run in there, and we're like, what happened? We see the doll on the counter, and this glass coffee mug on the floor, and my mom's like, the doll did it. I know it had to be the doll.